The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Okay, welcome everybody to Weyburn City Council for Monday, March 9th. It feels like springtime and there's lots of good things happening. We've got lots of work to do tonight. So we will have a public hearing on a zoning amendment. We're going to talk about a flag raising. We're going to hopefully procure some storm infrastructure, some line painting, lots to do. Okay, so we'll get rolling. First off, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the February 23rd meetings.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would move that the minutes from the regular council meeting and the strategic planning and priorities meeting held on February 23rd, 2026 be approved.
A seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any errors or omissions, commentary on those minutes? Hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Next up is our agenda. Council, any additions to the agenda? None? Administration?
No additions tonight, Your Worship.
Very good. Thank you very much. We will continue. Now, I would like to welcome our youth councillor tonight, Tim Malia. Tim, thanks for coming tonight. I always joke that I'm sure you'll have a ton of questions for council as the night goes, but you don't have to ask them any questions if you don't want to, but feel free to raise your hand if you have a question, okay? And thank you for coming. I say it every meeting, but the value that our youth council brings is immeasurable, so thank you for your hard work. Okay, next up, public hearings and notices. The public hearing that's going to happen will happen in item 9A. That is a amendment to the official community plan, so that will happen in a little bit. All right, delegations, proclamations, petitions, there are none. Reports of standing committees. So this is council's opportunity to just update us on any of the committees they sit on and any of the issues at hand. Do any councilors have anything to share? Not right now? Very good, thank you. We'll move on. Next up, consent agenda. So if I could get a motion to get the consent agenda on the floor, please.
Your Worship, I move that the following items on the consent agenda be approved: the cash activities report, the public works report, and the water treatment report.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Very good. Any questions or anything we want to pull off the consent agenda? No. Hearing none, then I will call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Move on now to motions. So 7A is accounts payable.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the purchases from February the 1st, 2026 to February 28th, 2026 in the amount of $2,429,828.09 be passed for payment. Those purchases include total quick pays of $1,243,879.47. Total accounts payable, $821,081.28. Total direct withdrawals, $362,541.75, and total debit card transactions, $2,325.59.
Thank you. I'm going to seconder for those.
I'll second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the Director of Finance or anybody on those? Hearing none, and we'll call the question. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you very much. All right, so now it is recommendations for awards. We will start with the 2026 storm infrastructure improvements, and we'll look to the Director of Engineering, please. Sorry.
I've got the flag
did I skip one? Yeah. I did. My goodness. I apologize. Right. It is flag raising request. Wow, it's not my night tonight. This first one is the Racism Day flag. We'll let the city clerk speak to this.
Okay.
My apologies.
That's
Sorry
okay.
about
that. The City of Weyburn has a flag raising policy that establishes guidelines for raising flags in front of City Hall. A flag raising request has been received from Southeast Advocates Incorporated to have a flag raising event on Friday, March 20th to promote Anti-Racism Day. This flag represents the City of Weyburn standing united against racism. There's clasped hands of different skin tones rising together to symbolize solidarity, mutual respect, and collective actions across cultures. The prairie landscape and sunrise reflect home, community pride, and a shared commitment to building a more inclusive future. This flag was once again designed by a local newcomer youth, highlighting the voices and creativity of young members in our community. City administration has reviewed the application, and it meets the requirements of the flag raising policy, as Anti-Racism Day is recognized by the federal government. I would recommend that council provide approval to Southeast Advocates' request to have an anti-racism flag raised outside City Hall on March 20th.
Thank you. If we can get a motion?
Your worship, I move that council provide approval to Southeast Advocates, Inc. request to have an anti-racism flag raised outside City Hall on March 20th, 2026.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Okay, any questions or any commentary on this one? Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. I know you and I took part in the flag raising with us last year, and the young lady that designed last year's flag, she was just over the moon that she could be part of this. So I think this is something very important to showcase that we are a community for all here in Weyburn. So I invite everybody to come out and join us in raising the flag on the 20th of March.
Thank you. Councillor Janke.
Councillor Morissette kind of took the words out of my mouth, but I would encourage everyone to come down. These events are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are. Agreed. Anybody else? If there's nothing else, then I'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. All right, Director of Engineering, I know you were ready to go last time. I sort of teed you up, but okay, here we are. So we will do now the 2026 storm infrastructure improvements, and I will let you go through your report.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. The City of Weyburn has allocated $90,000 in the Public Works Operating Fund in 2026 for storm sewer and catch basin maintenance. On February 5th, 2026, a request for proposal was posted on online bidding portal, Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the city's website. Quotations were to be received by the City of Weyburn on Thursday, February 26th at 1 p.m. A total of 2 proposals were received and are summarized below, including PST. All proposals submitted were evaluated with a weighted score on the selection criteria consisting of proposed fees for 50%, construction schedule for 25%, relevant project experience for 20%, and proposed equipment for 15%. A&B Concrete Limited ranked highest in the bid evaluation and met all RFP requirements. It is recommended that the 2026 Storm Infrastructure Improvements Project be awarded to A&B Concrete with a reduced scope to remain within the $90,000 allotted budget.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion for this one?
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that the 2026 Stormwater Infrastructure Improvements Project be awarded to A&B Contracting Limited. My recommendation would be that the overage be found in the budget of 2026, and we would award the $123,007.70, including PST.
Thank you. Seconder, please.
I will second that, Your Worship.
Thanks. So before we go to questions for the Director of Engineering, Councillor Higgs, you have asked that rather than reducing the scope of the work, you've directed engineering to continue with the full scope of work and asked them to try to find those savings elsewhere. That's correct?
That's correct, yes.
Good. Thank you. Any other questions or any questions, I suppose, for the Director of Engineering on this? Councillor Janke?
Director Cognate, can you speak to the potential impact of reducing the scope and what kind of problems that could cause?
Sure. So with the $90,000 allotted budget, this particular RFP, it consists of about 10 locations for catch basins and storm leads, and those locations have been selected on Railway Avenue primarily. That's based on the proposal to pave or repave that portion of Railway. So that's about 5 blocks from Government Road to 5th Street. So in order, I guess to reduce the scope would mean reducing about 3 to 4 of those 10 locations, which would result with potential issues down the road for for drainage. So it's imperative that we correct drainage issues before we pave, just to reduce pooling water on our new asphalt, as well as the potential to have to dig up newly paved areas to do repairs in the future.
Okay, so without making any more road puns, is it fair to say that this would likely, if something happened, would cost us a lot more than we would be saving by not doing it?
Yeah, potentially, yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks. Councillor Higgs.
Yeah, I guess my sentiments behind it are that, you know, the $30,000 savings, or the extra cost rather, we'll be able to find, hopefully be able to find that somewhere within the budget someplace, and that by next year, that $30,000 incrementally, we know will cost us more, and if there's a cost to infrastructure besides by waiting, it's just not worth it. So.
Anybody else? No? Yeah, I support that idea as well. So if that is, if there's nothing else, then I will call the question. All in favor? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, Director of Engineering, let's talk about traffic line painting.
Okay. Citywide traffic line painting, including center lines, shoulders, crosswalks, intersections, no parking zones, and the Weyburn Airport, main runway, and taxiways, is performed annually. The RFP also states that the contract may result in a 3-year term service agreement with the city. So Public Works has an allotted department budget for traffic line painting, including the Weyburn Airport, of $145,000 for annual line painting. On January 21st, 2026, the RFP was posted on the city's bidding portal, Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the City of Weyburn website for the traffic line painting. Quotations were to be received by the City of Weyburn by February 23rd, 2026 at 1 p.m. A total of 9 tenders were received. The bids are summarized below, including taxes. All the bids were assessed on the following evaluation criteria, consisting of 60% cost and 40% past experience. Line West Limited ranked the highest in the bid evaluation due to their outstanding past experience with multiple municipalities, including initial line mapping and airport markings throughout Saskatchewan, as well as all the RFP's operational requirements as outlined by the city. It is recommended that the traffic line painting be awarded to Line West Limited at a bid price of $99,166.29, including taxes.
Thank you very much. All right, can we get a motion to get this on the floor, please?
Your Worship, I'll move that traffic line painting be awarded to Line West Limited at a bid price of $99,166.29, including taxes.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Questions on this one? Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Actually, I have two, if that
Absolutely.
is okay. Director Cognate, the $99,000, does that include potential for them to come back and do any touch-ups if they're needed later on in the year?
So this does only include one mobilization, but if there's any touch-ups that are required due to warranty, then they would be required to come back.
And I know we've had this question in the past. We have to repaint every year. Is there any way, or is there any paint available that we can still use under the Ministry of the Environment that would last a lot longer?
Right now, it's just whatever's available in the market, and we do require waterborne paint, acrylic paint, to meet the Ministry of Highways specs and standards. And as long as they can propose a paint that meets those specs, we just, have to use what's available.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yep, Councillor Sadlowski.
Thanks, Director Cognate. In our bids and tenders portal, is there any value or anything that is put on for local companies, or does it just go strictly based on the criteria that is put in there?
So we make the evaluation criteria for every RFP. The administration does that. The city is bound to the New West Trade Agreement, which does require us to treat all bids fairly, non-biased, regardless of their location. So no, we don't include location as a criteria for the evaluation. So this one in particular, that's why we had 60% cost and 40% based on past experience.
Yep. Other questions or comments on this one? No. Only question I would have, Director Cognate, is this is a Saskatchewan Oil and Gas Show year. How do you feel that this line painting will fall in and around that June 3rd, 4th timeframe?
We plan on having the line painting in a total different area of the city or not commence until after that date. We do want to work with our contractor, you know, because they have multiple municipalities and contracts to fulfill. So we will be requesting that it starts after the oil show. And if it can't, then we will ensure that it's nowhere near the busy area.
Good, thanks. Yeah, that's hard, and Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate no matter how many times we ask her to. Okay, if there's nothing else, then I will call the question. All in favor? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. All right, Director Cugnett, you can keep going. This is asphalt, concrete and asphalt crushing for 2026.
Okay. So concrete and asphalt crushing is required at the City of Weyburn landfill. Along with the regular acceptance of concrete and asphalt, the city continues to separate dirt and debris from the concrete and asphalt in preparation for this crushing. Crushing the concrete and asphalt to the size of 2" minus allows the city to reuse the materials as sub-bases in our road repairs, as well as a more solid base for utility dig repairs. The landfill has an allotted department budget for capital spending of $120,000 for concrete and asphalt crushing. On January 29th, 2026, the RFP was posted on the city's bidding portal, Bids and Tenders, SAS Tenders, and the City of Weyburn website for the landfill concrete and asphalt crushing. Quotations were to be received by the City of Weyburn by February 23rd, 2026 at 1 p.m. A total of 7 tenders were received, and the bids are summarized below, excluding taxes. All proposals were evaluated based on the following evaluation criteria, with 40% for price, 40% for meeting specs, and 20% schedule. Based on the full bid assessment, Heidelberg Materials Limited ranked highest and meets the RFP's operational and experience requirements outlined by the city. As such, the following is recommended. It is recommended that the landfill concrete and asphalt crushing is awarded to Heidelberg Materials Limited at a bid price of $11.80 per ton to a maximum of $120,000, including taxes.
Thank you very much. We'll get a motion for this one, please.
Your worship, I'll move that the landfill concrete and asphalt crushing be awarded to Heidelberg Materials Limited at a bid price of $11.80 per ton to a maximum of $120,000, including taxes.
Your worship, I would second that motion.
Thank you very much. Questions for the Director of Engineering on this one? Oh, Councilor Bedore, sorry.
Yeah, just so the concrete, we use the concrete crushing for some of our road base. Do we sell it and do we make any money off that?
Yeah, so we actually do also sell it. It is available for purchase. We're currently selling it for $25 a ton. And yeah, it's not a huge moneymaker, but we definitely, can sell it for repurposing.
And then same thing with the asphalt, as I understand it, big, large chunks get put out there from maybe some of our work, and then we reuse that as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So right now we have a large stockpile of non-processed excavated asphalt, so it is in unusable size, anywhere from 18-inch chunks to 3 feet. So it will be processed into a usable product, which we can sell and reuse.
Thank you. Other questions? Yeah, Councillor Higgs.
I know this was actually literally just asked last proposal, but when you weigh into 15 cents per ton difference for a local company versus somebody out of town, and I realize it's the scoring matrix and maybe that's wherein the issue lies, but in this particular instance, I would suggest that we go with a local company for that little bit of difference.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So just a little background on this the bid evaluation and the recommendation. Heidelberg was recommended based on their past experience. They have recently acquired one of the largest concrete and asphalt recycling companies in Alberta, and they have over 15 years of experience in crushing. They also provided us a preferable schedule, start date and completion date, than the other bidders, including the local one. And this year in particular, we do evaluate the schedule a little higher just because we have an upcoming construction project at the landfill, so we don't want to risk extra congestion if we don't have to with, you know, extra operating, you know, companies out there at the same time. But yeah, that's ultimately up to council's decision for sure to override that recommendation.
Thanks for answering that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right. Anybody else? I want to make sure I get all the questions out. Good otherwise. So what you're saying is, and you have it in your report, by the way, but price was only 40% of the criteria or of the ranking, I guess. The specs were 40%, and then that schedule, so the allotted time to finish the work, more or less, was 20%, right? Yeah. Okay. So the motion on the floor currently, if I remember correctly, and I probably do, is to award it to Heidelberg for $11.80 per ton to a maximum of $120,000 plus taxes. That is the motion on the floor currently. So I'll call the question on that one first. All in favor? Wait, you gotta go, you gotta leave them up now. I got 5 and 2. So that is, yeah, all opposed? Good. So 5-4, 2 against. Thanks. Yeah. Good, okay. Thank you, Director. Okay, I don't see why you couldn't say something now, Councillor Sadlowski, if you'd like to.
Yeah, I just would like to reiterate with Councillor Higgs. I understand that there is time constraints, and that's understandable, but I do think that there is an importance in building relationships with our local companies. And so in this case, due to the time constraints, that doesn't work, but I do like when there is value in
Absolutely.
building those relationships.
Yeah, well said. And I know that you do keep an open line of communication on things like this with our local companies, and maybe that relationship can develop, right?
Yes, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Thanks, everybody. It's good debate, by the way. I appreciate that. Okay, next up is introduction of bylaws. We need to look at extending the completion of the assessment role. I will ask the Director of Finance to speak to this before we start making motions.
Thank you. The Saskatchewan Assessment Management Agency, SAMA, has not yet provided the 2026 assessment role for the City of Weyburn. Without this information, the review process required to prepare the 2026 tax notices will extend beyond April 1st, 2026 deadline. An extension to May 31st, 2026 is requested to allow sufficient time to verify the data, ensure accuracy, and to apply the 2026 mill rates before issuing the notices. So we're asking for the extension.
All right, can I get first reading, please?
Your Worship, I would move that Council gives first reading to bylaw 2026-3513, being a bylaw to extend the time required for the completion of the assessment role.
Very good. A seconder?
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Councillor Jenke.
Director Massal, I feel like I ask this question every year, and probably I'm going to bother you with it again, but given that this happens every year, is there anything we could ever do to make this, to change our own rules so we don't have to create an exception? Or is this something that's outside our control and we're going to have to keep doing it every year until something external changes?
I believe it's in the Cities Act, so that's why we have to get the extension.
Well, then I know who I have to talk to. Thank you.
Anybody else? Nope. Hearing none, then we'll call the question. All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. And then we will bring second and third reading back to the March 23rd meeting of City Council. Good. Thank you. All right. On to unfinished business. This is where we will have our public hearing. So,
Your Worship, if I may, I'd like to recuse myself due to a personal connection.
yes. Thanks, Councillor Sadlowski. Sorry, I knew that too. So before we go into any motions, we will have the public hearing. So Coordinator Malcolm has presented this back at our last meeting at the end of February. This is on two items, Bylaw 2026-3510, Bylaw 2026-3511. This is the OCP. So I will ask, are there any members of the public here to speak to this tonight? And I'll ask one more, I'll ask one more time. Are there anyone who wants to speak to this item? And hearing none, then I will say last call for submissions, and I will declare the public hearing closed. We'll look now for second reading, please, on this one.
Your Worship, I make the motion that council gives second reading to bylaw 2026-3510, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2020-3512, being the zoning bylaw.
Seconder, please.
I'll second that, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. All right. Coordinator Malcolm, is there anything more that you'd like to share than what we didn't hear last time? Is there any updates, anything that you'd like council to hear? No.
No, nothing to share.
I think the report was, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get any comments for public notices or anything like that, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. I don't think you need to present the report again. We've all heard it, unless you want to. Sorry? No.
No, I don't think so, Your Worship.
No.
It's on the record.
That's right. Good, thank you. Okay, all in favor? That is carried. We'll look now for third and final reading.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council gives third reading and passes bylaw 2026-3510, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2020-3412, being the zoning bylaw.
Very good.
I'll second that motion, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Last time, any questions? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. That's that. Did I miss one?
Did you want the motion to give second reading to the bylaw 2026-3511 to amend that other bylaw?
Yeah, the next bylaw.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you, Your Worship.
yes.
Sorry, I was jumping the gun on that
That's
one.
okay. Yep.
I'd like to make the motion that council give second reading to bylaw 2026-3511, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2020-3411, being the official community plan.
Okay. Seconder?
I will second that motion, Your Worship.
Okay, that's good. Any commentary from administration on this one? No? No? Very good. Any questions from council? Okay. Call the question. All in favor? That is carried. If you would, please.
Your Worship, I'll make the motion that council gives third reading and pass bylaw 2026-3511, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2020-3411, being the official community plan.
And I will second Councillor Morissette's motion.
Thank you very much. Any last chance? Final questions? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, we'll get Councillor Sidlowski, and then we'll go on to our final item. We appointed you to a few new committees while you were out. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Our final item tonight is, our agenda item anyways, is an update on our upcoming new aquatics facility. We've asked for the Director of Leisure Services to bring back reports to us somewhat regularly on this. So Director Henning, if you would give us an update, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. The Harry Church Indoor Pool, also known as the Weyburn Leisure Centre, opened in November 1990. The facility was unable to operate during the 2024-25 winter season due to significant degradation of the pool basin occurring beneath the tiled surface. Following a ground-penetrating radar, GPR, scan, and engineering assessment, it was determined that the basin structure cannot be repaired and would require full demolition and replacement. Additional assessments completed in 2024 noted that the mechanical and filtration systems, as well as the pool piping and components, are at or nearing the end of life and require replacement within the next 1 to 5 years. A feasibility study conducted by RC Strategies received 1,166 public responses, including 8 meetings with 10 organizations. From this study, several facility options were presented to Council, along with high-level construction and operation cost projections. In November of 2025, Council directed administration to proceed with the construction of a new single-basin aquatic facility with a budget of $30 million. Council also instructed administration to further assess the existing facility structure for potential repurposing before demolition is considered. Administration issued an RFP for project management services to support the full project life cycle, including planning, design, tendering, construction oversight, and post-construction turnover. Collier's project leaders were the successful proponent. Contracts were signed in February, followed by virtual project kickoff meetings. In early March, administration met in person with Collier's to review the initial planning for the Weyburn Leisure Centre redevelopment. The session confirmed the project scope, including the aquatic program elements, support and operational spaces, accessibility expectations, and requirements for continued operation of the existing outdoor pool. Other discussion items included preliminary milestone schedule and the relationship between time, cost, and schedule constraints. Governance structure, City Council, Steering Committee, Project Management Team, community stakeholders. Risk management, planning, identification, and controls, review of potential delivery methods, design, bid, build, construction management, and design build. Next steps in the process, Colliers will develop a terms of reference document to guide both parties throughout the project. Additionally, administration and Colliers are preparing RFPs for geotechnical investigations on the WLC grounds to support new site selection. A separate RFP is being developed for a structural condition assessment of the existing Weyburn Leisure Centre facility to help evaluate the best course of action for the building. I recommend that Council accepts this report as a project update.
Thanks, Director Henning. That's good information. We appreciate that, and we look forward to those kind of updates coming regularly. But I would ask, does anybody have questions of the Director of Engineering on this? Councillor Sedlowski.
Thanks, Director Henning. I have had lots of questions about the pool in general, but final decisions on what the pool looks like? My first question is, has that been decided, or how does that process come along?
No, the design is not finalized. We're moving into the project initiation with Colliers. So we're doing that terms of reference document, we're doing the geotechnical site work, the structural assessment. So the next step is going to be choosing that design team, and then that is when we're going to get closer to learning what we can design within the budget that City Council has approved.
Perfect. And that kind of leads into my other question is, on your report under governance structure, it references community stakeholders. There's been lots of people who have asked questions, part of the different clubs, that kind of thing, that have asked who will get input, or are they going to be included in the list of stakeholders? What does that look like leading into these decisions?
Yeah, so further along down the design tendering stage, we're going to have milestones where we can have stakeholder engagements. That'll be when we're at a certain, X percentage of the design that we have something that we can put out there publicly. And that's when we go out to some of the aquatic sport groups like artistic swimming, swim club, water polo. I guess in the feasibility study, we'd probably go back to the same groups, which was like the Young Fellows, the Oil Women, Inclusion, Silver Seals, Artistic Swim, Water Polo, Saskatchewan, Hurricanes Water Polo here locally, Tourism Weyburn, Life Saving Society, and Swim Sask. They all have a lot of great insight, knowledge. What does it take for a pool to do different things leisurely or competitively? And they're the experts. They're the user groups that we'd be leaning towards. So their input is going to be part of the steering committee's input.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thanks for that, great questions. Councillor Jenke.
Richard, I've heard some of the same comments that Councillor Sedlowski has, but one question that I've gotten in addition to that is the concern that what it's going to cost to operate a new or existing pool. Can you tell us, and I know you don't have a crystal ball, but an estimation what it might cost to run a single basin versus 2 basins?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So currently our operational costs are around that $900,000 mark. That's for a single basin leisure pool. If we, the more cubes of water you put in the pool, the more separate basins, different temperatures and stuff, it's going to require more filtration, more heat exchangers, that sort of thing. So there's also more staff included, more chemicals. Kind of the rough ballpark that we were going off whenever we go through the cost of probable opinion is about $700,000 increase. So we'd be taking our yearly annual operating cost from about $900 and some $1,000 to $1.6 million.
Thank you. That's more significant than I was expecting, actually. So.
Question.
Thank you, Worship. Director Henning, you've mentioned on here the review of potential project delivery methods. Is it 3 separate ones here? And have we chosen whether it's design, bid, build, construction management, and design build? Are those 3 separate ways of choosing how we're going to go about this project?
Yeah, those are 3 separate methods, each one of them with their separate pros and cons. So something like design, bid, build would be where we get a full design completed within our own scope. We have that nailed down, and then we go out for bid on that, and then we go out for construction method, or construction CM method is going to be, we go out and we find a design company to partner with. So we'll choose a design company. When we get to a certain, let's say 30% of design, then we will go out for a construction company that will take over. And then that construction management company will work with us throughout the rest of the design phase. So when we get to a final design, we won't be at a Class D estimate, we'd be closer to that. So there is, and then design build, we hand over, we would find a company that we could go to and say, hey, here's our specs, and we've nailed them down really good. $30 million, please go build us a pool. So there's pros and cons, cost, timelines, user input, that sort of thing that each one has to do. So part of our engagement with Colliers is that, pretty quick down the road here, we're going to settle down on one of those. They're assessing our risks and advising the steering committee on the best plan to go forward there.
And no matter which one we choose, Colliers has extensive knowledge on all 3, and they would direct us as to which one we should probably follow for what we want in the end?
Yes, they have experience with all 3. They have experience using all 3 in the province of Saskatchewan, and they do know what construction companies out there have the experience, like the architectural and all the mechanical engineering firms, who has the expertise to handle each one with the least amount of interruption and hiccups for us.
Perfect, thank you. I'm sure this is a huge learning process for you as well as us, so thank you for all of this.
Thanks, yep.
Thank you, Your Worship. Director Henning, if we were to roll the clock back a little bit, as it were, and from some of the decisions that we've made already as council, and looking at the existing facility and the basin that's there, if we were to have made the decision to try to repair that or to replace it, what would be the process? Am I to understand that the building itself would have to be brought up to 2026 code at that point? And what's the process for that? And do you happen to know a cost associated with that at all?
Well, I'll start with the cost. We had some preliminary costs there for a full renovation, and that was coming in at, I got my jot notes here, about $25 million, give or take. So slightly less than a new build budget as we have. But inside of there, I mean, a lot of that cost is going to be, once we have to demo that pool basin to rebuild it, that's considered a considerable reconstruction. So we're going to need a building code renovation permit for that. Plus, to get any equipment in and out of that building, we're going to have to take down 1 or more walls just to get equipment in and out. Once we do that, then we're going to have to get everything up to all the new building code standards. So that'll be barrier-free accessibility, fire and life safety, structural, building envelope, mechanical HVAC, that sort of thing. One of the other notable changes that we would be in contention with is Saskatchewan is discussing adopting the National Building Code 2025 come January of 2027. So if we haven't started construction by then, or if we're making design changes during that time frame, we'd then be bound to go to the new code. And then that has a lot of notable changes within the barrier-free. So the new building code kind of aligns more with accessibility standards, and the two are starting to align, and building code is becoming more inclusive of all the barrier-free access and accessibility.
Thank you. Just one follow-up question to that. So the difference in, and I don't know if you can answer this question, but just looking at it, would the longevity of a refit like that be comparable to a new build? Or would that be significantly less than the longevity of a new build? I know, tough question, but.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm no engineer in the structural side or architectural side, but the shell of the current leisure center is 40 years old. So if we renovate the inside, we still have a 40-year-old shell. If we build new, we have a new interior and exterior. And we still right now on the table have the option to look at repurposing that leisure facility. So if that shell is still good and it's economical to repurpose that building, that is still an option that we are looking into. So,
thank you very much.
Questions? Councillor Higgs?
Yeah, I certainly appreciate the fact that including the groups and the whole piece behind that, but it's certainly going to be challenging, right? You're going to have people who want this particular style and this particular style. So at the end of the day, the number's $30 million. You're tasked with fitting that inside that box, everybody's wants and needs. How do you suspect that that's going to roll out in your world? Like who's going to, I guess we're going to make the final decision sitting here? Is that how you see it?
Well, the steering committee, that's going to be our steering committee part, which is, mostly administrative staff. So that's what council has directed us to do, is come back with a $30 million pool that meets the needs of what the feasibility study came back. That's why we did the feasibility study. We had 1,100 responses. We contacted all the main user groups and made sure we were inclusive of everybody in the community. I think we did a great job there. We have all that info coming back. And we also have information from the Director of Finance as to, we have a debt limit. So we need to provide the citizens of Weyburn and the surrounding area with the best pool that we can that meets the needs of the greatest majority within $30 million.
Great. Good. Thank you.
Well said. Councillor Bador, anything?
List all stole my fire, though. All those questions came before me, but the big one for me has been location. And just to be clear, that has not been picked, location, because I've had a lot of people ask me about location, and I've said it's not been picked. I hope I'm not wrong.
No, the actual site has not been picked. We've got some ideas. We've got some, paper sketches, that sort of thing. But step one is getting an RFP out there for the geotechnical. We'll come back and see what the ground assesses like. The sites, we have not talked about any sites removed from the current leisure center area. So
can you be more clear? Although the location hasn't been identified, it's still going to be there somewhere.
It's still going to be at 532 Fifth Street.
Right. Yeah. Good. Thanks. Second round? Councillor Sadlowski?
I have one more. My most commonly asked question is probably, why does it take so long?
Yeah.
So can you speak a little bit to timeline and the restrictions, what you have to work with, what guidelines you have to abide by leading into this?
Short of just every step takes time to get a design done. Everything we do at the start determines whether this project is going to be successful or not. If we don't spend our time to do a feasibility study and include everybody in every user group, we're not going to have the proper feedback to go into a detailed design. If we don't do a good job on our detailed design, which could take upwards of a year, and get pricing as we go, we're not going to have an, I'm not going to be able to come intelligently to this table and tell you that we're going to be within budget. Then whenever we go out for tendering and pricing, you know, people need a couple of months to respond to that. They have to go out to their suppliers to get all the pricing. And then once that's awarded, procurement. Everybody knows procurement across the globe is, you know, everything is manufactured as it's required. So there's no longer, you know, even something as simple as fire-rated doors. They aren't always sitting on the shelf anymore. We might have to go out and wait for them to get manufactured. For other projects that we've completed last year, that took 5 months. So there is a lot of delays in that. And that also comes back to some of what style we pick, if it's construction management, design, bid, build. Some of those also play into how early we hit that procurement stage. So.
You have one more? Sure. We can have two more.
Just one more for right now. Thank you, Your Worship. Richard, your team did a fantastic job last year, kind of rolling with the punches and extending the outdoor pool life, you know, going as early as May, going right till the end of August. Is that something you're anticipating doing over the next couple of years while we're waiting for the construction of the new indoor pool?
Yes, we're going to do our best. Of course, I'll precede it with everything is weather dependent and staffing. We do rely on high school and university staff, so extending into September last year, we've seen immense struggles. We also did not see a return on people coming out to utilize the pool. Opening before May long, we had some cool weather. We had warmer weather leading up to it. We opened for May long, and then we had some very cold days, so the pool wasn't utilized again. So, which is also a challenge in getting it up to Sask Health levels for pool temperatures and water quality and stuff. So we will do whatever we can to extend that season, but weather and staff are going to be our two major setbacks there.
Any more follow-up questions? Councillor Bador?
When can we expect the next update?
Great question.
I'll try and bring an update every 2 months. I mean, it'll kind of be dependent. I feel if we have something productive to bring, I will definitely bring an update to you as often as possible if there's big milestones being checked off. But a lot of this, you know, 2 months isn't a long duration whenever we're working on a 2.5 to 3 year project cycle here. So as often as necessary, at minimum every 2 months.
Good. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good questions. There'll be more next time, I'm sure. A whole new roster of questions. Excellent. Thanks for doing that, Director Henning. Okay, no new business. Up next, inquiries and announcements. Anybody want to talk about the pool? Councillor Morissette.
Thank you, Your Worship. Not the pool, but the library this time. The annual general meeting for the Weyburn Public Library is coming up on March the 19th at 6 o'clock. So we're not exactly looking for more board members right now, but if you want to come out, give your feedback and find out what the library's been doing over the last year on the local level, come on out. Again, it's open to the public at 6 o'clock on March the 19th at the library.
Thank you. Councillor Bador.
Yes, I'd like to congratulate, first of all, the Weyburn Cane Club and Telemiracle. I was invited to come take part this year's show, and I hadn't been involved for about 5-6 years now, and the fire's still there. Pretty cool, and 10.5 million reasons why we give to that great organization.
Yeah, here. Well said. Thanks. If there's nothing else, I would like to also commend the Director of Engineering and the Superintendent of Public Works for getting after the streets again. Pothole patching last week, I mean, that's fantastic, that commitment to our roads. So thank you and your team for that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the acknowledgement. The crews are working hard. Again, they'll be back out again this week, hitting up some of those major roadways, including Cotto, First Avenue West, and then they're actually going to be coming back into the downtown area and doing some work on 2nd and 3rd Street between Cotto and First Ave, so. Yeah, and then that is, I guess, weather dependent. As everyone knows, with these warmer temperatures, we're seeing a lot of puddles and standing water trying to make its way to the catch basins, and then those catch basins sometimes freeze up in the night. So you'll also see our steaming crews out trying to open up some of those frozen catch basins. And I just want to let everyone know too, if you come across a frozen catch basin or a very large pool of standing water, they typically happen at intersections where those catch basins are located. Please give Public Works a call and yeah, notify them with the location so that they can be addressed.
That's great. What's the number?
It's found on the city website.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yep.
848-30 something, yeah. 3290. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Administration? Nothing? Sorry, Director Kaiser. It's not my best work tonight. If there's nothing else, then we'll call us adjourned. Thank you.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today